I'm Charlene. I'm 47. I have 4 biological children and 1 foster child. My mum passed away when I was 25. She passed away on her 45th birthday. And it was such a hard time. And I went through this stage of, why would God take someone so young or so beautiful? Why would someone take such a pure heart so early in their life? You know, I was so angry about things and so upset, and I was a constant worrier. The anxiety used to eat away at me. I had all this anger inside of me from things that had happened to me in my past, and it just felt so heavy. I used to say all the time, oh, give me strength, give me strength. But I didn't know who I was talking to. For my whole life, I didn't know. My 2 boys go to a performing arts school in Beckenham called Pop Gems, and we was asked to do a Christmas spectacular at Citygate Church, and we was asked to open the show and end the show. So, you know, we came with our glitter on, and I think we had about 70 children. I think it was the 17th of December 2023. We did the 2 shows on the Saturday and the 3 shows on the Sunday, and it was a spectacular. There was lights, fireworks and everything like that. I spoke to Jay in the week leading up to the show about how, you know, his testimony and how he become Christian. And it got me thinking, you know, I've not been to church, didn't used to go to church or anything, so I didn't think of coming here, I just thought of coming to do the show. Obviously I had my preconceptions of what people might think about my past, and that I was a single mum of 4, and that I was struggling, I was lonely, I was, you know, I was riddled with worry and anxiety. We came on the Saturday. People were so friendly, so welcoming. And I don't think it was until the 2nd show that I actually started watching it downstairs on the screen. And I was like, wow, look at them, look at that stage with all the lights and everything. And I was like, this doesn't feel like a church. Everyone is just so nice. We left, there was Emma, Logan, Riley and Emily. We got in the car and I kept looking in the mirror at the children, and Riley and Emma had picked up the Bible that you hand out at the end of services and stuff, and I saw them flicking through it. And I looked in the mirror, and there was just a sense of openness, and it was just, there was a really weird atmosphere in the car. And I looked at everyone and said, are we gonna go back next Sunday? Yeah, can we go back next Sunday? I was like, well, yeah, let's go back and see what it's all about. So then the following Sunday we came back, and I walked in, and it was like I'd knew everyone for years. And at the end of the service, Pastor Jay says, bow your heads, close your eyes, you know, this is a private thing, if anyone wants to come to Christ. And before he said it, my hand went up. I was like, I'm here. And it was an amazing feeling to just stand there like this, knowing that I was entering something that I did not know nothing about, I did not understand. I was so nervous about reading the Bible because I was like, I can't understand that. I'm not going to be able to understand and grasp this, but my hand was up. No matter what, my hand was up. And at the end of the service, I went up the front and I got the book, the Bible, and there was another little book in there about Jesus. And I went home, and that week I was looking through it thinking, I can't understand this. I'm not going to be able to get the grasp of this. Then that's when everything came from my past. I'm not going to be worthy of going to Christ. I can't go to church. I've had 2 failed relationships. I've never been married. I've got 4 children out of wedlock. I've had some horrendous things happen to me in my life. And I was like, oh, I can't. No one's, you know, when they find out my past, it's like I'm not going to be accepted. As time went on, it was the following week, it just became more normal, more natural. And I sat there and I listened, and I tried to sing the words, and I looked at the screen. And by the following week, I was jumping and singing, and watching my children worship is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. We all sat down and we had this conversation about, shall we be baptised? Why should we be baptised? It just felt like the right thing to do. So the baptism come up, we all signed up. And at the baptism, it was one of them feelings that you can't verbalise, you can't express it, you have to feel it, you know, and all my anxieties, all my worries, all my stresses felt like they were just lifting. It was 28th of January, and I said, I felt like something was missing for 47 years of my life, and now I know what it is. It is the presence of God, and I feel like I have a cloak over me, that he covers me every day with a cloak of strength that you could never ever explain to somebody. I knew this was going to happen. The more I read the Bible, the more I understood it, the more I listened to podcasts and came to services, my life started feeling more and more enriched. I started feeling this sense of lightness. And when the Holy Spirit comes to you, you have no room for your worries and your anxieties and your stress. I am embraced. I cannot tell you the strength and courage that I have now, and it's amazing to be able to look at my children and think they're following that path as well. And if I could have gone back 35 years, it would have been instant. It would have been an absolute yes. We went all in. We didn't hesitate. We didn't, second guess ourselves. We went all in. Every step that we took, it felt right. And God says, I command you to be strong and courageous and not be afraid. Don't be afraid. I needed to hear that. That's what I needed to hear. So yeah.